It's 11 p.m., March 16th, 2026. I get a notification on my phone mentioning the movies, the movies that were made in Malawi. And the House of Reggie's comes up, and that's a show that I'm not only the star of, but I also produced and created. So I go through this list on IMDb, and I start seeing that there's about 145 movies here. Some of them might be series as well. And I realize, hold up, I'm not only on the list, but I'm ranked pretty high when it comes in regards to series. So the first thing that came to mind is, how is this even possible? Because I looked through the list, and I even had other people look at the list as well, and they were like, Reggie, you're the only brother, who's from America, who's on this list, who's created a show, that's ranked, that was created in Malawi. That's history. Yeah, it's never been done before, and it'll never be done again because you're the first. So I was honored and grateful for that opportunity. And when I started seeing the reports and everything, it really made me feel as if I accomplished something that I never thought I would ever accomplish. In my life, that's been something that's happened all the time, but I know it gets swept under the rug because of how outspoken I am, because of how, certain things in our communities, within the African community, there's so much divisiveness, slave-mindedness, and people, they want to keep that intact. That's something I don't want to present. Have I slipped up and presented that? Of course. Is it wrong? 100%. Do I want to continue to, push that narrative of slave-mindedness, inhumane, toxic behavior within the African community or just in general? Absolutely not. And I know in my show, that's something that we pinpoint on. We see a problem and we abolish that problem by transitioning all of our energy towards the solution, feeding into that solution so we could abolish that problem, not just at that moment in time, but, permanently. And there were so many people, because I have people who are, in the industry within Africa, not just within Malawi. And I get updates all the time, even if I'm in another part of Africa. Reggie, this particular person we talked to does not want your content, does not want anything to do with you. They don't want it on their network. They don't want it on this platform. This high profile celebrity, this high profile person doesn't want your music, doesn't want to collaborate with you, doesn't want to do any of these things. So me, I don't pout or I don't cry like, oh my goodness, nobody wants to work with me. I just go out there and create my own stuff. And I create my stuff with people who I know for a fact, are in it for the love of it. Because this industry, man, and the film industry, music, and all these industries, it's filled with slaves. It's filled with people who are competing with one another. And people say competition breeds excellence. No, it breeds slaves. It breeds division. And where there's division, there's a lot of people who are divided amongst themselves, amongst each other. And that means they're easily conquered by evil. And I refuse to, be a part of that. So to see that there were so many people, because I had inside intel of people like letting me know, you're blacklisted, basically, your music, all of your content, majority of your content is blacklisted, especially where you're acting and showcasing your talents outside of just public speaking. To see that that's still ranked, it just goes to show that the village has spoken. No matter how much people want you to sell your soul, they want you to give in to their criteria. They want you to be like them. They want you to be that N-word from the States to come over here and be like, the person that they are programmed to believe that you should be. I never, went along those lines. I always remained true and stayed true to who I am. And I didn't allow any of, that rhetoric to get the best of me. And it led me to, make history that'll never be done again. So for all those people that tried to blacklist me and everything, I know you feel stupid. I know you feel low. You might not even care at all. But for all those people who are really doing what's right for their people, coming over to Africa to make a difference, not just in industries, but just in general to help your people progress, stay away from the slaves, stay away from those high profile people who claim that they're for the people, but they're really against them. Because if you are really for your people, you would never, ever try to shut someone out who's really trying to help people progress, not just off camera, but on camera as well, no matter what they do. And I'm glad to say that I've stuck by my ways, never allowed anyone to change me, and I made history in the process. Again, this is Reggie Haynes for all those people who have been a big supporter of Reggie Haynes in Africa and all the other platforms, primarily the House of Reggies. Mind you, this isn't Reggie Haynes and all of the, the RHTV Network's family that made history. You guys made history as well. So this isn't just an accolade that I've accomplished. It's one that we all have accomplished. So congratulations to you.